What up, though? This is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313, and we got another live streaming going on right now. We are right now on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we are on Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. My guests today are from the Wrestlerama podcast. I was on their show a little while ago, and I got to tell you, check them out. They are hilarious. They will have you laughing, as well as they got good discussions on wrestling. We got the Ruck and we got Benny from the Wrestlerama podcast. What up? What up, fellas? Welcome to the 313.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm just chilling.
Brother.
No problem, man. Just had a good weekend. Got a chance to see some independent wrestling. Met some other wrestling podcasters. Shout out to the Holy Shit Podcast. And also shout out to Ringside Mafia. Represent Detroit.
That's what's up.
So what's been up with you guys?
I'm trying to figure out if a hot dog is a sandwich and if Jeff's still an asshole, which I think both of them are one of them's correct. I'll let you figure out which one is true.
Oh, geez. We doing it.
Look at that motherfucker down there. Look at that motherfucker.
They never change with Benny, I swear. They never change. But hey, look. Look. I was just saying this, man. Do habla en español, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oye, silencio, maricón.
Well, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Let's get things going with the first hot topic in wrestling, and of course that's John Cena's first promo as a heel. He basically was pissed off and said it's been a long 25 years that he been letting the fans and stuff use him and just sounding whiny. So I'm gonna start with you, Benny. What were your thoughts on his promo?
Jeff? He said you.
Oh, me?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
English is that open and you can't understand it?
Hey, don't start. Right?
You're the one that started.
I'm in my element, bitch, shut up! No, I'll say this. I thought Cena, I liked it and I kind of didn't like it in the sense that I think there could have been more that could have been done in the promo, and I'm just kind of hoping, because not for nothing, John Cena, I've never seen one bad promo that John Cena's ever done. He's always put a lot of passion out there. People are also giving him his flowers and things like that, especially when he's cooking. And this is the different side of Cena. Cena kind of reminds me of my son when he was little. Not getting that toy on the top shelf, and then, having a pouty moment and just, having a temper tantrum and just going on a tirade. It's a different side of him. I want to see a little more on the next couple weeks. Hopefully they're going to continue to build, because I was hoping the way Cody was saying what he was going to do, like he was going to pretty much, there was going to be a fight in the middle of the ring. And, I was kind of hoping you would expect that moment where you have everybody in WWE separating both of them to build this match, and you didn't see that. You just saw Cody just walk off, say what he had to say, and then Cena just dropping the mic and just having a pouty moment. And I'm hoping that there's more in the next couple weeks, especially when they're going to be in Ireland, I believe, next Monday night.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be in that. Well, not next Monday night in the U.S. It'll be in the afternoon. But you get where I'm going with that. So I'm hoping that there's more. But outside of that, it's been a long time coming. I love what he just said to the crowd. He pretty much alienated everybody, especially that one kid that's now turning into a meme, like the black dude. You remember the black dude that had that shock face when he lost to Brock Lesnar? Yeah, that one. that he's turning into that meme more. The Miz girl. It's one of those moments. Yeah. But it was solid. It was solid though.
That's what's up. What you think, Ruck?
John Cena proved throughout that promo that if this is done properly, this could be the greatest heel turn in professional wrestling history. I don't give a shit about Hulk Hogan Bash at the Beach 1996. I don't care about Austin WrestleMania X7 2001. If this is done properly, this could possibly be the greatest heel turn in professional wrestling history. Notice I said if, because while he did a fantastic job on the mic, a lot of it seemed whiny and repetitive. Because it seemed to me like he kept going back and back and back on the same stuff over and over. And it kind of got a little tiresome. A little bit. Although I will give him credit though, because it seems like he got out a lot of stuff that he seemed like he was holding in for over 20 something years in that promo. Like he held a lot of shit in from fans. Like the parts about how he was the victim of an abusive relationship, like that. And it's kind of true. Like all these years, the fans was just straight up abusing the shit out of that dude. Like all the times, like all the booze he was getting, all just the BS that dude gotten from fans all the time. Like he basically telling the truth a lot of times in there. But like I said, it just seemed like throughout that, it just got over and over and over, and it kind of got annoying a little bit. And Cody came in and did his thing. Like he basically said it best. Like we're looking for the opportunity to fight John Cena, and this is what I got. Some whiny bitch. Like it was kind of weak. And I'm like Benny said, I 100% agree with you, Benny. Like I'm looking forward. We want to see how this is going to grow, and if it grows properly, like we know what John Cena can do on the mic. He can straight butcher people. Yeah, this is going to be something special, especially the match at WrestleMania. And like I said, if done properly, I think this will be the greatest heel turn in WWE, not just WWE, but all professional wrestling history. So yeah, I look forward to that. So yeah,
And I agree with both of y'all. It felt like something was missing in the promo, but I think that's where the buildup is gonna come. I think next week I can see them getting a little bit more physical, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to get physical, in you know what I'm saying, next week. But yeah, I agree. It's been a long time coming for John Cena. Like, you know, even when he was a baby face, like they were booing him. Like, and I think it was because he was winning so much, and you know, it was most people would probably say his character was probably getting stale.
yeah,
But he always found ways to reinvent his baby face character, whether it was You Can't See Me or the Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. You know, he always found a way to like, you know, like reinvent himself a little bit. But I'm interested to see what he does on this heel run. I'm interested to see if he's going to eventually change his look. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he kind of
But
said on the promo too.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then it was something interesting. I was reading an article. The one thing that he didn't address in that promo is why he joined the Rock. So it should be interesting to see if that comes up somewhere down the line.
Yeah, it is rather interesting why he didn't suggest that. I think it was. I think he kind of though basically said that because I think he basically said that why and basically why because of how the fans treated him to a certain degree. But then again, he didn't. But like you said, I think in due time he will suggest that he will just suggest that in over the next couple of weeks and everything. Yeah, I agree.
I'll say this. I mean, since he sold his soul, his bald spot disappeared, which is kind of funny.
Interesting point. Rather interesting
He
that did
used
happen.
the letter O on a lot of things on John Cena's bald spot. No, I mean, getting back to the thing, I mean, if you notice, like, I don't know if you remember when Brock Lesnar came back after, I'm sorry, The Undertaker came back after losing, speaking of WrestleMania, after losing to Brock Lesnar in for the first time in the first WrestleMania in New Orleans. There was a moment when he came back and they did this massive build-up for SummerSlam match, and everybody was going nuts because they did that motive that they always do, kind of like what you saw with CM Punk and I guess that's probably why they didn't do it, because they're using that same card that you're using now with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And I think that would have fit perfectly. You get them to come in the ring. Cody doesn't say anything. He just wants to whoop ass and take names. You get, Adam Pearce, who just comes in and just doing the thing that he always does, where if he had hair, he'd be pulling it off from the top of his head, trying to figure out how to solve the problem, which is typical Adam Pearce. You get these two to just fight off. They get off on there, and you get more answers. And you kind of do the thing where you guys cannot touch each other. If you touch each other, you're disqualified in the match. Cody, if you touch Cena, you lose your title. Kind of, throw something in there that makes you want to keep the level of interest, because WrestleMania is not in a couple weeks. WrestleMania is over a month from now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the match itself is interesting, and it's going to keep people coming in because you've got everybody talking about wrestling that have been talking about wrestling to all of us in a long time. But what I'm trying to get at is, if they do that, it's the interest is going to go high. It's kind of like the situation, I know we're going to kind of talk about this later on, but with Jey Uso, where you've had so much time to build, and it's kind of like, flatlined a little bit. I mean, he's still got momentum, but the momentum's kind of shifted.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to get to that. I don't want this. This is going to be turning out to be a very good card for WrestleMania, and I'm excited to see it. I just hope that there's more what they do, and like to your point, Mike, I hope that they do something more next week.
Yeah, they definitely got to give us a little bit more next week. Even if somebody slapped somebody, it's got to be something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to get hit. Somebody got to give the first lick to really get this fire ignited in this story.
And you see John Cena smacks the kid from Brussels.
Oh, they're really hating then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first lick though is probably gonna be John Cena. I think that's gonna be him. Well, he already did, but I think he'll deliver the first lick again, and I could see it probably be another brutal one. I could see it happening. It'd be another brutal one.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the our next match we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the women's triple threat match, or possible women's triple threat match. Originally it's supposed to be Io and Bianca Belair, but Rhea got her way into this match. She interrupted the press conference, slapped Bianca, headbutted her, and then powerbombed Io onto Bianca while she was on the table. What do y'all think about this being a triple threat? I'm gonna start with you, Benny.
Where do I begin, man? This is like, let's just say this. I don't want to sound weird, but if this was Charlotte Flair, people would be hating on this right now. Like, a lot. This is like, oh, it's a DEI move by Charlotte Flair. Here we go with all the same BS. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that in reality, we kind of all saw this coming. Anyways, there's this build-up. Even though it's not official, she signed her name on there. There's not a binding contract, which obviously it's not. Adam Pearce had to educate her on that. But obviously, we know that this is going to happen this way. I'm just hoping that if it does happen, I know that we're trying to do this Undertaker thing with Bianca, but I'm hoping that they hold the title onto Io. Because, not for nothing, Io's been kind of like on the sideline for a while, and you haven't really seen or heard from her, and she's a fantastic in-ring talent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I honestly, I think to the point where she's underrated
Yes.
I
in the
agree.
women's division.
I
And I
agree.
feel like there could be more that they could do with her. And I feel like that could be the case where they kind of, hopefully, I think all three are going to complement one another. I think it's going to be exciting to see, and let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised though if Charlotte Flair decides to add her name into this match for some strange reason. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that would be kind of funny. To be like, I'm going to fight for both titles, and just be like, this. Well, you know what I was going to say. This rich, to say the least.
What you think, Ruck?
Well, first off, Charlotte Flair not gonna be in there. He has to.
I know that, but I'm just saying that would be funny though if she did. Like WrestleMania is turning to entitlement mania.
Yeah, it really is.
Nothing.
No, it is. But this is definitely going to be a triple threat. Let's get that out the way. And to add to your point, Io Sky is getting to the point where she's flat out disrespecting. She is beyond talented in that ring, and I don't understand why they just continue to just slap the ignore card on her. Like she doesn't get no love, no respect. She just doesn't get no type of and it's borderline laughable. Why they do that? I just don't understand why. But that's for another day. I feel it's definitely going to be a triple threat. But my biggest question on this is will the story that she's involved with Naomi and Jade Cargill, will that play a role in that triple threat? That's my question. Because as you know, she still has her hands full in that whole endeavor with Naomi and Jade. Because my thing is, remember the whole thing that Naomi took out Jade for Bianca.
Right.
Like the whole remember that Naomi did that thing like what Rikishi did, took out Austin for the Rock. So my question is that whole little situation gonna play a factor in that triple threat match? That's my question. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a triple threat. Uh, it's a little corny to say the least. Maybe because I feel as though it's just another situation that you have to throw Rhea and Bianca to it. Which don't want to say it, but I'm trying to get a little tired of Rhea being involved in every major match, women's match that WWE has to offer. Like, I don't want to disrespect it, but she's just kind of getting like
Yeah.
Just like what you just said made me tired too. Okay, perfect.
Anyways,
Mike, hold on, Mike. What do you think about what do you think about what's going on with this love triangle for the title between all three women?
I think it's going to be a triple threat match. The only thing about it is you got so many like ways that it could go, because it's like, does Rhea actually need the belt again? If after just losing it,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you got Io Sky. She just won the belt. Do you want to take it off of her? This quick? And then with Bianca Belair, she's what 5-4-0 at WrestleMania right now. So it's kind of like they trying to build her as Miss WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all those matches she's had so far, they've all been championship matches except for the one from last year when she was in the 6-women tag. So it's like it's interesting to see where they go with it. I think that if Bianca wins the women's championship, I think somehow during in the draft, I think the belts are going to swap, and then I think that's how the Naomi the story with her and Naomi is going to continue.
Right.
That's what I think. Y'all got any final thoughts?
I just think it's just weird with all these twists and turns with the storylines and stuff like that. Like, I just think like Io getting the title at the time that she got it, if they're going to give the title to Bianca, which I'm honestly okay with either one of the three women, if this match were to become official, which obviously, spoiler alert, it's going to be official. This has been rumored for months, but I just think that someone's going to get weak out of this.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that if that's the case, I'm just hoping that it's not Io in the sense that she just, falls by the wayside. And I kind of see what WWE Creative is trying to do in the sense that they're trying to make her the third wheel in this match, if you will. And then when the match comes, she's going to be the one that's going to become triumphant in WrestleMania. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be pretty interesting next couple weeks for what they do. I'm just hoping that next week there's going to be a little more than a build than just push in the face to Io Sky by both of them, and then Io Sky going on a tandem when they're Asian dialect and just, slapping everybody, and then there's this big cat fight, if you will. I'm just hoping that there's a little more to it than just that.
Yeah, the last thing I want to see is Io Sky being a British champion, which I just think is a slap in the face to her and her skill set. She is too talented, and like I said, Bianca Belair, she's in the middle of her own thing with the whole thing with Naomi and Jade Cargill. I felt as though she should have had that. She should have still been in that whole situation versus fighting for the title. If you want Io Sky fight for the title, it should have just been Rhea and Io, and Bianca should have been in that title. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is she could possibly go 2 years in a row losing the championship at WrestleMania.
And that shouldn't have happened. That makes like,
Yeah, there's pros and cons to all three of them. I just think that there's not one person that you can honestly say that could potentially be in this match that you could say can gain a lot if they lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if Io loses, like she's gonna go on the back burner on the women's card.
absolutely.
Kind of like what was going on for a while now. Like she was on the back burner, and it was kudos to Triple H for kind of building up a non-important match, if you will, that's on a Monday Night Raw on Netflix era, and they made it something big, and it turned out to be, everybody what they wanted, and then throwing the Bianca thing on there helped, and it made sense on the build. So I think it's a wait-and-see situation. I'm just hoping that this is the part where WWE starts to streamroll their build-up for matches, and you're not going to be one of those that it's going to be, you look at the card, Mike, and you're like, yeah, this is the one I'm going to go downstairs and make some wings. This is the one I'm going to go for the bathroom.
Yeah.
I want this to be a bathroom break match, in other words.
Yeah, I hope that's not either. But
which I don't think it will be. And it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't be, but if if the pace like this is going like it is, it might. Although I have a hunch it might be that type of match, but I'll say that.
Definitely. And speaking of EO, possibly going 0-2 2 years in a row at WrestleMania in championship matches, another wrestler could possibly be 0-2 in championship matches, and that's Gunther. Gunther's going up against Jey Uso, and I know you guys been seeing Raw the past couple of weeks. Gunther been putting him to sleep. This week, Jey Uso said, nah, it ain't happening this week. And he ripped the belt off of him, kind of, stunned him with the belt a little bit. But I want to ask y'all, and of course, Jey Uso won the Rumble, and a lot of times the winner of the Rumble main events WrestleMania. Should this match be of course it's not going to be the last match on Sunday. I think that's Cody and Cena. But should this be the last match on night one of WrestleMania?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, I think it should be. I think it's fittingly so. Jay Uso. By the way, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I called the Royal Rumble winner to a T.
Yes, you did.
I did. I predicted Jay was going to win the title, and it's funny that Professor Bear, who's been on your podcast, has been mocking me about it, and then after that, he's been radio silent. But we'll leave that one alone for another day. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
Shout out to Professor Bear.
He has been like.
So my thing is, I'm gonna call Jay Uso this week top dollar because there was a certain
yeah. Mm-hmm.
he took and
oh yeah.
he looked like a GTA mod where he just catapulted himself, if you will. But yeah, everybody's gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. But the dude's got a lot of momentum on his side.
Yeah.
The crowd is hyped for him. People are loving Jey Uso. I think that for what it's worth, you can honestly say he has stepped out of the shadow of his twin brother, which I feel bad for Jimmy in that sense. And I'm hoping that they do something. But it's like they're the same age.
Yeah.
Same skill set. It's just somebody says he and the other one doesn't. It's like the only difference here. But having said that, no, man, there's only been maybe 2 or 3 people that have won the Royal Rumble that went on to WrestleMania that lost the title. I think the when they do the by the numbers video for the Royal Rumble, I think there's it's like in the high or low 80 percentile that somebody wins the Royal Rumble and then goes on to win the title at WrestleMania. There's only select few that have lost. But this match should be on the main event, at least on night one, in my opinion, because Gunther is a hell of a talent. I don't think he should be an opening match. He should be a main event match. This guy is a solid wrestler, and I feel like it would be. There's nothing on the women's side. I don't know, Mike. You tell me if I'm wrong. There's nothing on the women's side that I can honestly say intrigues me for it to be the main event on night one. Nothing. It's the men.
Yeah, I agree. And what you think, Ruck?
So, it's funny you mentioned that because according to What Culture, they showed that little mishap that he had, and YouTube posted it on WWE. On YouTube posted on WWE's YouTube channel. 81% disliked that video, and according to some, they said they actually booed the piss out of it. After Belgium booed the piss out of that whole thing, and it did not go well at all.
Damn.
Now I don't know if this is accurate. According to a lot of folks, according to some folks on there, they said that kind of killed the momentum that Jey Uso had. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but say should that match be the main event night one? I still believe so, but like I said, should that one incident hold that against him? No, it shouldn't have. It's like you said, not perfect. Shit happens. We all make mistakes. Is he an ugly butcher like most wrestlers are who make constant mistakes time and time again? A la Nia Jax, for instance, who just did thing over and over and over again. No. Like Jey Uso, that was one incident. Jey Uso is a terrific wrestler in that ring. He's great on the mic. He's athletic as all hell. I 100% agree with you. That should be the main event for night one. Because like I said, I don't know no other
Wait, hold on. Is that Kevin Owens tweeting?
Yeah, that's Joe Moreau.
No, that's Kevin Owens.
Shout out to Joe Moreau and shout out to JD from Mayhem Media.
What up, JD? Hey, no, seriously, he does look like that's. Who's older, Kevin Owens or Joe Monroe? That's what I want to know. You should actually put that on the poll. He's gonna respond. He's gonna respond to this. Watch. I guarantee.
He probably would. He probably definitely would respond.
I gotta be careful, man. He's actually coming to Charlotte. Probably whoop my ass, but I'll leave that one alone. I was gonna say this to add on real quickly. I think that for the most part, this is not gonna ruin the match.
No,
because if you look back at when Ruck and Cena were having bars after one another, do you remember the moment when Cena mocked The Rock, talking about having his that is definitely Kevin Owens tweeting. It's like, Kevin Owens looking for Elias. But my thing is that you don't remember when The Rock had his script on his sleeves, and John Cena pointed that out, and that was not kayfabe. That was legit.
Yeah, that was personal.
Beef. And for nothing, it kind of threw The Rock off for the remainder of that promo. Mm-hmm. But he redeemed himself, and that's what I'm saying. It's a one-off situation. Everybody botches, including Gunther. Everybody makes mistakes. I honestly, I'm not really too concerned about it.
No, and like I said, it shouldn't be an issue. I don't know why people sat there and acted like, oh, he just like botched the snap or dropped the dude on his head or something like that. Not like he just the most drastic thing ever. Yeah, he made that one mistake, but it's not like the worst thing he ever did. But the way people are nowadays, they like to take the smallest thing and act like the most terrible thing ever. People overdraft. People overdraft.
Yeah, like you doing breaking news in the middle of a show. You know what I'm saying? Like I let that go.
Well, that's your thing. You it's way too far anyway. Ain't my fault. Ain't my fault you're oversensitive. Go home and cry. Go home and cry to your mama for that.
Mike, man, this is your show, man. Take over, brother. Man, what do you think, dude?
So I'm not gonna say I've been going back and forth with it, but I think it should. Cause I kind of cause like I guess because of the past couple of weeks, Gunther been putting Jey Uso to sleep, so I just been kind of like, oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's been kind of feeling like it's losing this steam. And then you got the whole Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns thing going on. You got the Rhea, Bianca, EO thing going on. But this match has to be the main event for night one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Jey Uso's entrance is already like adrenaline booster.
Yeah.
So just think about if they had the very first match of the night.
Right.
Got everybody, you know what I'm saying, hype or whatever. And then the rest of everybody just drained out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This has to end. This match has to end night one of WrestleMania, because I think night two we're gonna get John Cena as the new WWE champion, and he's gonna break Flair's streak.
The thing is, when you think about it, you've had matches in WrestleMania that should have been the main event, and obviously WrestleMania is now 2 nights versus 1 back in the days. Think about the Shawn Michael Undertaker matches at WrestleMania. The main event was nowhere to be found.
No,
that should have been the main event. It's the same thing with WrestleMania 27 in Miami when Undertaker and Triple H and
the end of the era match.
It was Hell in a Cell. The main event was Cena on The Rock, but the match in between that, I was there, and I don't even remember who was in that match because I don't remember. I went to the bathroom. I'm like, This is boring as shit. I think Brodus Clay came out with somebody called my mama dance or some shit like that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he had the Funkadactyls.
But my point that I'm trying to get at is you definitely want to make sure of that because the momentum is definitely there, and you don't want to make that an opening match.
Yeah.
Right.
The only way I would see it make an opening match if it connected to, which it's not obviously, but if it only connected to, Cody Rhodes and John Cena storyline, which that's not the case. But yeah, no, this 1000% it should be. And by the way, Gunther did say that the next couple weeks leading up to WrestleMania, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. I'm gonna make you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
So him saying that, he's already building that story about Jey Uso trying to overcome adversity, if you will.
Yeah.
So he's putting that down and making him less confident. They did the same thing with Rey Mysterio after he won the Royal Rumble.
Yup. Yeah, you're right.
So I think that in a way it is kind of working because we're talking about it.
Yup. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So let's get into the next topic. And let's talk about the women's division in NXT. And I can't lie, I love a women's division. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of big names, but you see a lot of women in that division that's putting the work in, and their matches are talented. So I want to ask y'all, and I'm gonna start with you, Ruck. Is the NXT women's division the best division in WWE, or is it maybe the best division in wrestling, period?
The amount of talent that NXT has in their women's division is and Tony Khan is a effing fool because he fumbled on one in particular and Banker. He fumbled one on Banker in which she was there for one night, and I don't understand. I'm seriously just have to wonder why did you not give her a contract?
Yeah. Because then she after that she lost that match. She went right to WWE.
Yes, exactly. Literally, exactly. She lost that match, and then not too long after, she signed with WWE and went to NXT. The NXT. Let's think about this for a second. The talent that NXT has. You have Julia. You have Van You have Naria, formerly known. You have Nadia. You have Jordan Grace. You have Lola Vice. I can go on for days.
No, just stay on Lola Vice, please. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Just stay on Lola Vice. I'm just saying. Come bro. I'm telling you, man. Hey, bro. Man. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
I can go on for days. The amount of talent that NXT has in their women's division, like that is easy. Like they not only is. I know people gonna say that WWE the main roster's talent is better women wise because they have Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and that says enough. But no, like just NXT women's division is the best in all of the professional wrestling because it's almost endless. Like it's almost like the Hydro Code. It's almost like the Hydro Code. Take off one head, two more take its place. And it's freaking scary how loaded it is. Like, look at it. For instance, Banker's next match at Stand and Deliver for the title is possibly my personal favorite in all of NXT, and that's Jada Parker. And people don't understand how dumb talented that girl is. Yeah. Like, hell, you can make a case she's probably the best on the mic in NXT.
Yeah. Actually, next week on NXT, Stephanie McCool is supposed to defend both belts. She gonna defend the NXT championship against Jada Parker, and then the women's North American championship against what's the girl that just Fallon Henley? Is that her name?
Oh,
Mhm.
Henley. Oh,
Yeah.
part of Fatal Influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gonna defend both titles next week.
So it's not as Stand and Deliver. She's not defending it against Jada Parker.
Well, it could still happen that way. I mean, they could do one of those things where the match happens and then there's some kind of like disqualification or interruption, and then they're gonna redo the match for Mania or
It's-
Stand and Deliver. I'm sorry. So I mean,
That's
it could still happen.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just ridiculous how loaded they are.
I'm surprised you guys are not talking about Sol Runka.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't even mention her. How loaded?
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you how loaded they are talent wise.
Yo, that is one of the. I'm sorry, out of the men's and women's division overall, that is the sickest finisher I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that is a dumb finisher.
Cause she do like a flip and it turned into like an RKO or something like that. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
it
I
is.
don't think she could do it after the age of 35 and 40. I don't know if she could do it after that. You know, like Rey Mysterio. Remember how Rey Mysterio, when he would come out from underneath the stage,
Yeah.
like ramp him up? He doesn't do that crap anymore. Or when he did the 619, he would actually, sunset flip.
Yeah, the West Coast
Yeah,
pop.
and he can't do that anymore. He's just, it is 619, dive.
Right.
I'm just hoping that Son Roca
Or basically a frog splash now.
But yeah,
Right.
to your point, man, the NXT division in women's is good, but it's more so kudos to the development staff, of the coaches, the wrestlers that are in WWE past and present that are going there. They got this show called Legends of Futures Greats, LFG, and it's. I don't know if you're watching it, man, but it's phenomenal. There's a couple of women that are on there that I can tell you right now they're going to be future stars.
Yeah.
And it's NXT can do no wrong. Like, remember when Vince McMahon used to just take as many people out? Now, with Shawn Michaels doing his thing, kind of under the same toolage that Triple H is doing, they're developing NXT into something better than it was even when Triple H took over.
And don't even forget there's WWE Evolve that's on Tubi with their stars in its own right there.
That's on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like it's like WWE has this endless cycle where they're developing stars. Eventually, they're coming. Like it's just an endless cycle.
I'm just jealous of Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. having Miss Parker on and going, "Hi, Miss Parker."
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, yeah, the influx of talent. You have different walks of life on there. People that have a gymnastic background, people that have, a cheerleading background, people that are families of wrestlers and things like that. And it's phenomenal that. We used to have this conversation on Wrestlerama a long, long time ago. Jeff remembers this, where we were talking about the women's division. Is it dying off? This is before AEW was in existence. We were talking about it. Now
Look,
I remember. Look, AEW's got good talent. They got good talent, and I know this is a tippy-toe story or a tippy-toe conversation, if you will, because some people, like their chocolate hot. Some people like their chocolate cold. Some people like their chocolate with ice cream. Some people don't like hot chocolate. They just want white milk. Some people, it's just like different things, and it's pretty much different flavors, different strokes for different folks, if you will. I like AEW talent. I love AEW's product. I like the WWE product as well. I just like WWE product a little bit more. Because when it comes to wrestling, yes, AEW is there. TNA is there as well. But when it comes to grabbing an audience's attention, not just the wrestling side, the style of clothing that they wear. Now, I'm not talking about in a sexually way. I'm talking about just people coming in. The personification, how they come out there, how they approach it. WWE, when it comes to mic skills, is head and shoulders above any other company in professional wrestling around the world, period. And I will fight that to the day I die. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I feel like a lot of people critique AEW women's division in the sense that, for one, they should be seen more on TV a lot more because there's a lot of women over there that are so fucking talented. Some of them used to be, pardon my French, some of them used to be in WWE and they have the skills, but they don't utilize it enough.
Well, there's one in particular I give kudos to that is real talented and still utilized it to a degree. And she just had possibly the best match AEW put out there, even though it was brutal as all hell. And that was Timeless Tony Storm.
Yes.
The match she had with Mariah May, that was possibly the best match AEW ever put out there. Even though it was basically the shit ECW used to do back in the day. But that was an amazing match. Absolutely an amazing match. And I give Tony Storm credit. She's fine as hell, but she's probably the best. Between her, Swerve Strickland, and Ricochet, probably the best things going in AEW.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I want to know, off rip, do you feel that AEW's women division is more cartoonish? Like how WWE was in the 80s.
In the 80s.
90s. Like, you know, you had Kane being a character as the dentist. And, you know, you had people dressed up, you know, the Brooklyn Brawler and all this different stuff. Like, you know, like people that were like, you would look like on a Saturday morning cartoon, if you will. And I'm not saying AEW's completely there, but you feel that in a way AEW's women's division has been at that level, if that makes any sense.
I can understand what you're saying because they do have some characters like the Timeless Tony Storm. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I wouldn't say cartoonish, but the character's different. The new girl that they've been talking about, what's her name? Megan. I can't think of her name.
Isn't that the one that has the that had the puppet?
Her. Harley Cameron or something like that.
Yeah, Harley Cameron, that's her name.
But it's another lady. She's supposed to be like kind of big, and she be wearing this thing like She-Ra. Remember She-Ra from the cartoon?
Yes.
She kind of look like her a little bit. I can't think of her name, but I get what you're saying. I just think that AEW, it's kind of like what you said with with the women's division in NXT. The writers, the guys that go over the matches. AEW doesn't have that. They have that, but they don't have guys that are good enough.
No, incorrect. They're not utilizing people correctly. That's the problem.
No, they don't. They honestly
they're not using the right writers and utilizing them in the sense.
Well, they just don't have talent. They don't really have talented writers like that. They just got guys who are basically just wrestlers that handle all of that.
Because I feel like Mercedes Moné should be bigger than what she is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She should be. All they utilize for, honestly.
You know I'm going with that one, Mike. I'll leave that one alone. You know, fuck it. I'll just say it. Look, Mercedes Moné is a hell of a wrestler.
Yes, she is.
But on the mic, even in WWE, she wasn't that good.
No.
I agree.
And the fact of the matter is that they put a title around her waist, and I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to have the opportunity because she is their Charlotte Flair. She is their Charlotte Flair in that women's division AEW, because no one before her or no one currently right now is on her level regarding popularity. Yeah. Because Timeless Tony Storm, it should have the championship around her waist.
Yes, she should.
Whether she's still in AEW or not, if she still is, she's one of those women you can honestly say you could put a title and have a program with her. But Mercedes Moné is head and shoulders regarding names that people recognize around the world.
Yeah.
But the problem with Mercedes Moné is, number one, they don't use her enough. And number two, when they do use her, it's cliche and it's the same story in English. Then the next week it's in Spanish. Then the next week it's in Portuguese. Then the next week it's in the following week's in Swahili. And the point I'm trying to get at, it's just very stale.
But see, that's the problem with AEW in general. They use the same thing for pretty much everybody that they have. The same thing for Will Ospreay. The same thing for Monet. The same thing, honestly, for John Moxley. With that, they did for John Moxley. Everyone that they use is the same thing because they don't have they don't have the writing staff, they don't have the production staff to really put these stars out there to make them grow. The only one that forces himself to grow in this situation is MJF. That's the only one because he forces himself. Nope, they don't know how to produce. They don't know how to produce their superstar. The only thing they know how to do is actually put together a good match, and that's barely honestly. Because the only thing they know what a quote unquote good match is just basically putting them to the limit and basically borderline killing them in a match. They did that shit with Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. Did that with John Moxley, Edge. Did that shit with Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May. That's the only definition they know of a good match. Take this for instance at Revolution. The match between Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. People deem that a good match, even though they both nearly killed each other. They did a Spanish fly off the top of the cage, and they both nearly had to sit here and they did a Spanish fly off the top of the cage, and it was shit all over the ring, all over the floor of the ring. Meanwhile, you had CM Punk and Seth Rollins just had their freaking cage match on that Raw that following Monday. Did you see crazy shit? Did you see anybody doing no crazy stunts?
Nah.
No. Did you see anyone sit there had to do crazy jumps or anything stupid? No.
Yeah, but they didn't have to.
No, thank you. They didn't have to.
They didn't have to.
No, not at all. They just great wrestling in the ring, great storytelling in the ring, and it ended controversially at the return of Roman Reigns.
By the way, Dave Meltzer was eating all over himself with 20 stars in that AEW match. I just wanted.
Of course he did because he's nothing but because I hate excuse my language for this because he got Tony Khan's dick in his mouth. That's why. That's why.
So I got a
PG show, brother. PG show, man.
Man, out of here with that.
So I got a question for y'all real quick. So we've been talking about how AEW been kind of like presenting.
Hold on, Mike. Before you ask the question, we're not going to be talking about Dave Meltzer's junk, are we?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me scratch out that answer. Okay. Continue.
So real quick, we've been talking about how AEW, been kind of presenting their stars and former WWE stars. How do you think they've been doing with former AEW stars? Because I think they've been doing a better job. WWE's been doing a better job presenting AEW stars than vice versa.
It's not even close, dude. Of course, it's. I mean, for the women's perspective, Jade Cargill was. She had her. Okay, well, I'll say this. Jay, from the women's perspective, having that question that you asked earlier in the debate, Jade Cargill, I think, was a lot bigger in the sense when she was in AEW because they did a lot more with her than what they're doing in WWE. I mean, how many Jade Cargill matches do you remember that she's been in WWE since she's moved to WWE? There hasn't been a lot.
Honestly, maybe like two.
One really good Jade Cargill match that you can name in her WWE era. I can't name one. Because unfortunately, she's had to be complimented by other wrestlers because of her insufficiencies, if you will. And this is an argument that me and Jeff have had since the rumor started swirling of her joining WWE. And the fact of the matter is, it's worked to a certain degree, but it hasn't worked. So the argument for her is it would favor AEW. However, there are other wrestlers from AEW that have joined WWE that I would say far supersede what anybody expected. Cody Rhodes,
Yeah.
big example of that. But Ricky Saints, you got Lexus King.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, and I'm not talking about Joe Hendry. But
I know you talking about
we're not doing the Kevin
Ethan
Hart
Page.
fingers thing. What'd you say?
Ethan Page.
Yes, Ethan Page. Thank you. I had a brain fart. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are watching, as you get older, you will have brain farts. It's called age. Screw you. But Ethan Page is another one. So yes, to a certain degree, they're definitely doing their thing with the talent that is jumping ship. Penta will be another one. Hopefully, Ray Phoenix will be somebody else that they're going to utilize. Miro, Aleister Black. You know, those are just to name a few that I could honestly say that will be bigger or better than they would.
And they definitely been doing a good job making Penta look like a star.
Yeah,
because it's just like, man, like this is the same dude that was at AEW, and it's just like, dude, they gave him like his whole presentation is just like, this is not the same person. And you know what I'm saying? And then all WWE did with Cody and Jade, they still got the same character they did in AEW. They just sprinkled that WWE sauce. That's all they did.
They turn up the notch. They turn up the notch level 10. This is the same Penta, by the way, who had a match with Chelsea Green.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
And listen, and I'm telling you right now, this is not a knock on Chelsea Green or Penta, but if you ever get a chance, just YouTube Chelsea Green versus Penta, Lucha Underground. It is an incredible, entertaining match to watch in a very good way.
And by the way, bring this up real quick. Aleister Black is coming back to WWE. We got to remember, last time he was in WWE, I'm not talking main roster, but when he was at NXT, he ran that shit.
Yeah.
He ran that. He totally ran that shit. And he was the main attraction. He was the main star. Yeah. So,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, let's remember, and Triple H ran that and ran NXT back at that time. Yeah. So it really should be no surprise to see Aleister Black doing the same thing again this time around. And like we say, Ray Phoenix is coming back, so we could be seeing the return of the Lucha Brothers again with that reuniting tag team. So this shouldn't be no surprise at all. Like I look forward to great things there. Again, this is just no shock that guys like Miro, with Alex Black, or I should say Malachi Black, when they went to AEW, they were not utilized properly because again, AEW gets all these guys. They have no idea how to utilize talent. Let me give you the greatest example of this. The greatest example. I didn't mention this. Look at Okada, for instance. The guy was the king of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was everything in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You want to sit here and tell me why this guy, he has that one championship, but you want to sit here and tell me why this guy has not gotten one title shot for the AEW championship yet? How does that make any sense at all?
I could say the same thing with Mercedes Moné and the TV and her having the TBS championship. You know, she should be in that women's title picture. You know what I'm
saying? You could say the same thing with Andrade too. Andrade is he moved to WWE, and ever since the Royal Rumble when he re-debuted, like he's fallen off the map.
Yeah, you know what? He has fallen off the map.
Like and this is not a knock on WWE or AEW. It's just his style of wrestling and the way he presents himself may not be in tune with the audience. And you can't say it's because he's Hispanic and all this different stuff and he doesn't speak very good English. Listen, he speaks better English than Penta. And I know it's the hot new toy, but Penta's kicking ass.
It's just that Andrade. I just think Andrade's style doesn't really fit per se with WWE. Well, I can't even say that. It's just his presentation doesn't really fit with WWE.
Can I ask you this real quickly, because I know we gotta get to the other topics and stuff, but
go ahead.
Do you think that the wrestlers that are not working well, that would work well, should move to NXT since they made it a third brand? Andrade would be a perfect fit in NXT.
You know what? I think at this point, and I've been saying it for a minute, I've said it on other podcasts, I think that they need to take the whole developmental brand off of NXT, and I think that Evolve should be the new developmental brand. Mix it up with the NXT prospects and, the Performance Center. I think Evolve should be the new developmental brand, and NXT should be kind of on the same level with Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree. And not for nothing, but when you think about it, it's really amazing how NXT has beaten AEW in the ratings.
Yeah.
NXT has no CM Punk, no Randy Orton, no John Cena, no Undertaker, none of that. It's just the talent itself.
Yeah.
They're not barely beating them. They're just annihilating them. If you look at the numbers, and I know that you had somebody that you've had on your podcast before, who has said, "Oh, look at the numbers and all this stuff."
Oh yeah.
I understand what he's saying with that because the matches are solid, but if you're looking at an overall product, that you're trying to get people to watch, people to talk about, things like that, WWE overall has a better product. Now, there's some things about WWE you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's some really good wrestlers that are wasting away in catering.
I agree. And that's why guys like Apollo Crews, when Gallows and Anderson was in WWE before they got cut, I feel like, and then honestly, the piggyback, I think the plan back in the Black and Gold era was for them to be on the same level of Raw and SmackDown, especially when they added NXT into the Survivor Series one year. I think that was the plan around that time, but that's when COVID hit in 2020.
Right.
And COVID just messed everything.
Yeah. No, look, I was going to say, one wrestler I'm thinking about right now that I know AEW would just love to have is Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne is not being used.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think Pete Dunne's a hell of a better talent than Ludwig Kaiser. I understand Ludwig Kaiser has better.
You gotta remember, Pete Dunne is Butch, remember?
No, I know Vince ruined it, but we're not talking about women becoming men and turning themselves into a sex change. We'll leave that one alone. We're not calling him Butch, Jeff. Sorry. But
I'm just saying
I know what you mean, but I'm just saying, like, they changed his name back to Pete Dunne, and they made a big thing about it.
Yeah.
And then his former tag team partner got injured, and it's like, now he's going to Bloodsport to wrestle. It's kind of like the same thing with Shinsuke. Shinsuke he lost the title tonight, and it's like, that's the thing, like, with the talent on here, WWE has talent. AEW has talent. But I think from a WWE problem is that they're not spreading the wealth to everybody, which obviously you can't because you got to develop stories and stuff like that, but people are going to be the sacrificial lambs. Pete Dunne is one of those. Andrade is one of those. People that that are solid guys. Same thing with AEW, I just think that everybody could do more. That's all.
Definitely. Real quick, just to go back to NXT, I don't know if you guys know about the new faction that they got.
Yes.
Kind of look like the Shield and the Retribution into one. So last night on NXT, they basically came out and said that their name is the Dark State. So just by what you've seen from these four guys, what do you guys think about them so far? I'll start with you, Benny.
Wait and see. I think it's a wait and see. This is a copy and paste kind of thing for the faction, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not like surprised and I'm not shocked. I think one of the cool things about this faction is that one of the guys that is on this as a group used to be on LFG.
Okay.
Bobby Ray or whatever his name is, the guy that's beefing with Bubba Ray on the show.
Oh, okay.
His wrestling partner from Duke was on the episode where CM Punk was on there and they're talking about cutting promos and stuff like that. I forgot his name and I apologize, but he was like the only white guy that was on there.
Okay.
So he's a former Duke standout. He was on the reality show, so it's nice to see that guy on there, and let's see what happens with that. But as far as I'm saying, it's just like okay, new faction, cool. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
We've seen this before, and it was kind of cool when they first did the shock thing and all this different stuff. But it's like, okay, I need to see more than you doing, putting a mask on your face and coming in the ring and beating up people. I want to see your mic skills. I want to see what you're going to do. So they need to do more of a build with these guys. And right now it's kind of like, okay. Sorry. That's all I have to say, man.
Right. What you think, Ruck?
I agree. Just wait to see what happens. One thing I will say, interesting note. One of the guys, I forgot his name, was Dion something.
Is it Dion Maddox or something like that?
Yeah, Dion Maddox.
Yeah.
Back in November, he actually predicted that he was going to challenge Obafemi for the title, which I thought was rather interesting. This has too much. I know people are bringing up. It's got too many vibes to the Shield and Retribution. What people seem to forget, this got too many vibes to Nexus. Got too many vibes to Nexus, and people forget like Nexus didn't really do it. They were all like stale. None of them could cut a promo. None of them could do anything except for one person. Well, two people.
Yeah.
And one of them got booted out instantly. That was Brian Daniels.
Yeah.
For some stupid reason. The guy who really did everything.
Why?
Huh?
I said he was a vegan. That's why. I'm sorry.
There were plenty of other. The guy who really did everything for them was Wade Barrett.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, this got too many vibes of Nexus to me. And they all were just none of them really could do anything. But I'm not gonna give them that judgment because it's not right, it's not fair, it's too early. Let's see what happens here. And if there's one thing I'll give the benefit out to Shawn Michaels is that he has ran NXT to a very, very good job. So I'm not going to judge him on that. We'll just see. Let's play the hand out. I'm gonna give a quote. I'm gonna give a quote to Warburg. Let's play the hand out and let's see what happens.
Hey, Mike. I'm sorry. I have to say this. Going back to the last question you had about WWE versus AEW and all the other wrestling division, I just gotta say, I'm gonna give Shawn Michaels a new nickname. I'm gonna call him HB Drizzy K, man. Because Jesus Christ, man. Nothing but cake for days. I'm not. Man.
I've been saying this lately. Shawn Michaels has a type, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like that.
He definitely has a type. I've noticed it too. I've noticed it too.
And it ain't a fighter. It's BBL HBK, man. Jeez.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Shawn Michaels said he wants cake.
Definitely.
If it ain't Lola Vice, if it ain't Jada Parker, if it ain't even seen the back curve?
The Lash Legend. You know.
Oh God!
Hey,
Yes,
hey, hey! Some of these women have their own area code. Okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
they
they got a zip code. They got a zip code in the front and an area code in the back. But we'll leave that alone.
yeah.
I'm not trying to get you canceled, man. I'm sorry, brother, but I just had to say that, man.
We'll say
But
that for
my thoughts on this new faction, man. I think I'm interested in them because it feel like that they gonna take pieces of the Shield, maybe pieces of the Nexus, pieces of Retribution, and they gonna put this together. I think one of the guys that they got on there, I don't even know his name, but he seems like the guy that he seems like he's gonna be the mouthpiece of the group. So it's gonna be interesting to see, once they, talk a little bit more, what he has to say and how the crowd interacts to him. I was really surprised to see the one guy, Dion Maddox, because he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He always, like, in backstage promos, he will always have this pissed off look because it was like he was trying to get an opportunity.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense for him to be in this group, but I'm interested in it. They made a statement. They beat down Obafemi, Javon Evans,
Evans now Tony.
Fraxium, Tony D'Angelo yesterday. So they're making a pretty good statement. And I think that this group of work got a chance of surviving, rather than what happened with Retribution. That was a Vince McMahon thing right there.
Oh God, please don't get me started on that.
Yeah, that was a waste of effort. All those guys and all those individuals had talent. And they just you talk about wasted opportunity. That
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, y'all. The last question of the night. We're gonna go back to AEW, and of course on Dynamite tonight is Moxley and Colt Edge for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. But a lot of people have been saying that this Moxley run has been kind of stale.
kind of.
Um,
Oh God.
so I'm gonna start with you, Ruck. What do you think of Moxley's title run? And do you think it's time for him to drop the belt? Real
Man,
quick. Hold on, real quick before you say something. John Watson, leaving a comment. What up, though, John? Shout out to him in the Sports for You podcast.
What up, John?
What up, Johnny boy?
Go ahead, Ruck.
John
Okay.
kind of looked like the guy that was shocked when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar.
Oh, he
Sorry,
kind of do look like that. But here's my question. Can you honestly sit here and take a guy seriously who holds a effing briefcase for a title? I'm just
Yeah.
Can you honestly take a guy seriously who holds a goddamn briefcase for a title? Seriously. Like this whole thing just seems like I got respect for John Moxley. I got no beef with the guy. I thought he was badass at WWE, and he got disrespected towards the end of his run there. Like he seriously, I thought he got disrespected towards the end for no reason. In the beginning of AEW, I thought he was cool, and this whole Death Riders, whatever the name of it is, it was cool at one point, but yeah, this whole run just got stale and dumb and just no purpose and no meaning. But my biggest question to here's my biggest question about Moxley. Do they even have any idea on who is going to take the title from Moxley? Because it looked like at one point, I'm not calling it Coke. It looked like at one point Ash was going to take the title from him. It looked like it had perfectly set up. He was taking out all the members one by one. But
Who'd you say?
it looked like
He was saying it looked like Edge was gonna take the title from Moxley.
yes, because
That's not his name.
shut up. It looked like Cole, since you want to be such a whiny, you know what about it. it looked like
I'm just
Cole.
coping. I'm just coping. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, it looked like Coke was going to take the title from him at one point because prior to Revolution, he was taking out the members one by one, and he had good momentum building up to it. Then the match happened, and then all of a sudden, Christian Cage cashed in that contract for that match to make a triple threat, and it just everything just fell apart. But you have to ask yourself: does AEW have any idea what the hell they're doing? Like, why kill the momentum Cope had? Why did Christian Cage cash in that contract? Like, you just have to ask yourself: do they even have any idea what the hell they're doing? I'm serious here. Do they have any idea what the hell they're doing?
You know what this reminds me of, Mike? This reminds me of, like a little kid who draws with crayons, and they go to their parent and they're like, "Look, Dad, look what I made," and you just want to be supportive, but you know that thing just looks like plain shit. That's John Moxley in a nutshell.
You're not wrong here. You're not wrong.
Listen. Mox holding on to a title is bad for business, whether in WWE or in AEW. He wasn't a good WWE champion. He had the momentum, and then when he finally got it, it's been a, pardon my French, Mike, it's been a shit sandwich, to say the least.
I mean, basically.
It's been a shit sandwich. Mox looks more like an extra American History X than he does an AEW champion.
You know, my boy been saying that. You know, my boy literally says that all the time.
Because they were saying that his character now is based off of some movie that came out from some years ago.
Yeah,
American History X.
Like, no, not even American History X. A movie that Russell Crowe was in. I forgot.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I just think. Look, you go back to that beautiful pay-per-view that AEW had. What was that pay-per-view again, guys? Pander me for just a moment.
Was it All In?
Yes, the one that just happened.
Oh, was that Revolution?
Revolution, right.
Yeah.
There you go, bingo. You look at that card. We talked about everything on that card was perfect. Everything on that card was perfect.
It was a solid pay-per-view.
Except the main event.
The main event, which was
with the exception of the tag team match and the main event, everything else, from the opener to the co-main event, could have been the main event. You could have made an argument for that. I had a conversation with one of my buddies who does a podcast, and we were having that conversation. We were going back and forth with that. Everything on there would have been great. Then they threw this shit sandwich of Christian Cage, Mox, and Cope, or whatever the hell he wants to call himself. I'm waiting for Mox to change his name to Diddy, and Cope to change his name to Jeffrey Epstein for some reason. And it was bad. It was bad. I hate to say this, but Mox and Cope, and I love Cope. I love Adam. I love what he's done in WWE. I think he's a hell of a wrestler. He's always going to be one of my favorites. But the fact of the matter is, they have turned into the Chris Jericho vortex of stupidity. Well, no matter what Chris Jericho does, everybody hates it. They just want Chris Jericho to go away. And it's not because they hate Chris Jericho as a person. They just think that his days of wrestling are done and over with. Chris Jericho is to what Ric Flair is to wrestling now. In the sense that Ric Flair still wants to wrestle, and people are more concerned about him saying, "Hey, dude, like, it's okay. We know you were great. Just sit down, just drink your iced tea and bark at the clouds and just enjoy your retirement."
Yeah.
And I think that Chris Jericho's on that facade, as well as Mox. Obviously he's not going to retire. He's a young cat, but Mox does not deserve to hold on to a title, not a major title at least.
Yeah.
He's lost it. I'm sorry, no pun intended. He's lost his Mox.
But that's AEW for you. I think they have no idea on how to build anybody.
Mira, es un tremendo estúpido para AEW Moxley. Es tremendo estúpido.
Yeah.
Haces un corazón.
You know what?
I say he's hard-headed in Spanish.
You know what? And it's like I like Moxley, man. Cause like even I liked his first title run in AEW because it seemed like at that time AEW may have had better writers. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like their stories were more better than what they are now. And it's like now it's just him and the death. It's just like where are they going with this? You know what I'm saying?
They're putting more effort. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, but tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like they're putting more effort into everybody else except their main title.
I agree because I was just thinking earlier. I was like, it seemed like the international championship got more prestige than the world title because it's always in the main event. You know what I'm saying? And now Kenny Omega has the international championship, so you know they about to push that. You know what I'm saying?
To Jeff's point earlier, to the Ruck's point earlier, Kenny Omega and Okada. I'm sorry. I meant to say Okada. It should be having the title. He should be in that program. Now, obviously, they're doing something with Swerve Strickland with the title, which that's gonna breathe life into his career. But if it would have been Ricochet or anybody else, I'm sorry to say this, that's gonna ruin AEW. Mike Mox, bro, I'm telling you right now, as much of a talent as Mox is, for some reason, it's just a major big-ass brain fart whenever he wins a major title. I swear to you, he forgets who he is. And I understand you got to recycle, you got to refresh yourself, you got to change up your character. Undertaker did that after a while. He became the American Badass for a while. People loved it. Then he went back to the old dead man thing, and people loved it as well. And I guess he's trying to do that in some kind of way and try to make himself more relevant. But it's not working. It's not working. They need to do more with this character to build him up, and I think hopefully Swerve does that, where whether he wins the title or not, I think this is going to be a big program for Mox to determine the future of his career as a main event champion.
Yeah, if they don't do nothing goofy tonight and have him drop the title to Colt, because that sounds like an AEW thing right there.
They might as well put Orange Cassidy in the match.
Well, he fought for the title like a couple months ago, which was the dumbest thing they could have did.
I'm just saying, just put Juice Robinson in there. Jesus Christ, dude, it's getting stupid. With Mox holding on to the title.
Yeah,
and then I was thinking
too, Max Caster in the title picture.
And then I was thinking too, maybe with him holding the title in the briefcase, maybe they're doing that as a way. Maybe they got a new title in the works. So when he finally does open the briefcase or something, it'd be a new title, or I don't know.
How many more titles does AEW need?
I mean,
dude, they might as well come out. Listen. They might as well come out with a title in Braille and call it the Blind Championship.
Oh, that just goes to show.
Dude, I'm serious, bro. They got like 150 different championships.
That just goes to show you.
Hold on, Ruck. It's funny because they should just come out with a disclaimer. Each sold separately, batteries not included, or something like that with these AEW championships. It's way too much, man.
Yeah,
because I forgot they still got the
TNT trophies is what they should call it.
Because I forgot they still got the TNT trophy, the TNT championship.
Apparently, I heard that they're supposed to merge the international and
the continental. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I heard they're supposed to merge those together, which that's a good thing because they need to get rid of some of these championships.
Mike, having these many titles is explaining trigonometry to a 2-year-old. Okay, no one's gonna understand that shit.
No, it's not fun. Nobody's gonna understand.
No one's gonna understand that, bro. It's like, okay, AEW has the Intercontinental title. They have the Triple B. They have the Sycamore Championship tree. They have Orange Juice Championship tree. They got all these different things, and it's like, dude, Bro, enough with the participation trophies, bro. Like, seriously, man. Like, AEW needs to just keep a couple titles up there and just leave it at that. Like,
and
WWE
that's not even
wants
including
it too.
that's not even including the titles from Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor. Because where they got tag titles.
I'm leaving one.
You're not wrong. It is too much. It is too much. But that just goes to show you that I don't think there's no one in there that has any clue on how to properly run AEW. They just do shit just to do it. Like, adding all these titles for what purpose? For what popularity? For honor per se? Like this is shit just cool. Like, it's getting ridiculous. All this nonsense, all these titles, all these quote unquote matches and stuff. It doesn't make it makes absolutely no sense. Someone needs to go in there and have a understanding of how to properly run a wrestling. Someone needs to put it in.
I bet Mike D has a championship from AEW.
And probably do, per se.
Jeff, you have a championship.
The 313 championship.
Yep.
How do you? Hold on. What's the FTR championship? That's what I want to know.
It's the
FTR championship was a championship that Taz had.
Stand for?
Huh?
No one's ever explained what FTR stands for.
It means fuck the world, but when Jericho had it, he changed it to for the world champion.
No. They should have changed it to fuck this shit. I know we can't curse on the show, but that's what they should have changed it to. Clusterfuck Championship is what they should have changed it to.
If I remember, it was supposed I heard it was supposed to be Hulk's exclusive title, but when Chris Jericho took it,
they should have changed it. They should have changed it to the Taz Participation Trophy Award.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off AEW and some of the bad stories, that learning tree, I don't understand. Like the that might have to be the worst. Like, come on, Jericho, you could have just kept. What's that group that he had?
Just another gimmick that Chris Jericho tried to create. He tried to be quote unquote creative. That's all what that was. Chris Jericho has that mind. And he tries to be all creative, all these things. He did the whole honest man ordeal. He tried to be against all the hypocrites and everything.
Chris Jericho looks like if a guy was standing in front of his front yard of his house, and he has this big ass belly and he has a 6-pack in his hand, and he sees kids shooting a basketball or trying to do an ollie on a kickflip on a skateboard, and be like, "Yeah, I could still do that." That's Chris Jericho. That's Chris Jericho right there.
Chris Jericho has that mind that he think he could just.
I'm still 20 years old. I can still go.
Yeah. He has that mind. He's supposed to have that mind.
You fat fuck, you're slowing down, man. Stop, man. Jesus Christ.
Definitely.
He has that mind.
His career, man. I'm sorry. I know this is I'm gonna shut up now. I apologize.
He has that mind, from the hypocrite, from the honest man ordeal, to my personal favorite, the list of Jericho, where he adds anyone and everything to the list. Hell, I'm probably on the list. You probably on the list, Mike.
Right.
Probably on the list.
Am I on the list, Jeff?
Yeah, you definitely on the list.
How many times?
Probably like 1,000 sometimes.
See, but that's the thing. Like when Jericho first came to AEW, like it was gangbusters. Like it was great.
Yeah.
Singing his tune and everything else. It's just ever since he became this chauvinistic, more so amplified of a BS artist, it's not the same. And it's the same thing with Mox. Mox has lost his luster, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that it might be time to drop that belt, and I definitely hope it's not Colt. I don't even like calling him that. he's Edge. You know what I'm saying? He's Edge.
That's
Or
why.
you know what? Adam Copeland. I'll call him by his real name. I do not like that.
That was his idea, by the way. Which
Yeah.
I got one. I got one last question.
Go ahead.
If it ain't Swerve Strickland, who would you like to see take the title from John Moxley?
Hangman.
I would say Hangman or maybe Okada.
Yep.
Because Okada, because like you guys said, and I'm not really up on New Japan like that as much as you guys, but I, just by reading, he was big in New Japan, and the fact that he's just been leveled to a continental championship, and yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in that world title picture going up against Moxley.
I got two people in mind. It's Will Ospreay or Okada.
And you know what? I'm gonna throw another name up in there. Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley should not be a tag team champion. I get it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I get
Bobby
it because of the roster, but Bobby Lashley supposed to be in that mix too, trying to get up there to win the world title.
Isn't Bobby Lashley like 150 years old?
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, definitely up there.
Jesus, man.
Well, fellas, I definitely thank you all for coming on. It was definitely had a good time. You guys kept me laughing just like you guys did on your show. So Benny, real quick, anything that you want to plug, any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, man. So we got Wrestlerama that's actually coming next week. Myself and Jeff, we're going to be kind of going over rinse and repeat and recycle AEW. Some other shit that's going on in WWE. We're going to be talking about that. We also have our March Sadness tournament. It's a debut thing that we're doing. So pretty much Mike D understood exactly what I'm referring to. We played wrestling lookalike clips of I would write my script of wrestling lookalike of wrestlers, what they look like, things like that, and just say things like funny memes and stuff like that. Anyways, long story short, is the best of what I've done with wrestling lookalikes, we've added to a NCAA tournament style. So the team that is the number one seed, for example, in the South, which is Auburn, is being played by, does Damian Priest look like a bisexual Undertaker? So he'll be facing 16 seed Alabama State, which is played by, does Rich Swann look like a pirate? And whoever wins in that basketball match, that meme moves on. Or Louisville, number 8 seed Louisville, will be played by, does Billy Ray look like an out of work professional garbage truck driver? And versus 9 seed Creighton, which is played by, does Moose look like Michael Clark Duncan? So you're gonna get a little more of that. We're gonna recap which meme is gonna go on and stuff like that. And the winner will win absolutely not a damn thing. It's just me and Jeff trying to laugh. You guys, pretty much, we laugh, we have a good time, we enjoy each other's company, and dude, you know what I'm saying? We're not even trying to do a podcast. We're just trying to have fun, to have a laugh. And Jeff's still a dickhead, but I'll leave that one alone.
Hey,
you got any shout outs, Ruck?
just a shout out. Just a shout out to all my people at home. Just to let you know, Geek Speak will be coming soon. I'm working on it. Geek Speak is coming soon, and what it be about soon? Shout out to everyone home. Wrestlerama. What's up, y'all?
That's what's up. That's what's up. And real quick, let me do my plugs and shout outs and everything. Make sure you subscribe to Wrestling from the 313 on YouTube. We are now pushing the 4,300 subscriber mark. Hopefully we get there after this episode. We're still trying to get to 2 million views. So make sure you watch all the shorts, all the videos on YouTube. Make sure you follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/X. Shout out to the Wrestlerama podcast. Shout out to the Holy Shit podcast. Ringside Mafia from Detroit. The the Joe Moreau Show, the Wrestling Society Network, Mayhem Media, Friends of the Square Circle, Triple Threat Wrestling. Just support wrestling podcasters. You know, we just doing something that we love, you know, out here having fun.
Yep.
And hopefully, you know, we can one day make a living off of this. I definitely would love to, you know what I'm saying? And always not only support wrestling podcasts, support independent wrestling. For sure. So for my guests, Benny, the Ruck from the Wrestlerama podcast, I am Mike D. This is Wrestling from the 313, and we are out. Peace.
Out, y'all. Ciao.
Good night, Canada.